Peace reflections. I am you, and you are I. Universe. Eon. Tapping in. So, I tried recording this just earlier, but I had to clear some storage just to make sure I have more than enough space to fully get out when I want to get out. So, now we back with the second attempt of recording this and getting this out. And within that being said, before I even hopped on camera, I was just channeling straight from the soul, like talking to life itself, like talking for no one needing to see it on a phone, because it was realer than real. Like I was really speaking this within my real energy of really meaning everything I say, because I'm not just speaking and talking shit that off this camera isn't my real life. I was channeling before I hopped on the camera, and I was channeling so deeply within everything that's taking place on the planet that I was like, you know what, let me hop on the camera and just flow, because this is coming out my soul in a really good way right now. So within that being said, global warming literally is the vibration raising. Like, global warming is a code these human being scientists made in our image, these white scientists made in the image of the Anunnaki gods, black Latinos, these human being scientists and these white people and these human beings and these extraterrestrial races, these draconian reptilians and Pleiadians and these low vibrational satanic forces running this system. They speak through code with each other, right? And they be knowing what they really mean behind it, right? Just like Corona meant crown of the sun, and COVID was really certificate of vaccination ID, you feel me? The 19th one. But within that being said, right? Within all that being said, right? These beings speak through codes, right? And within that being said, global warming is their code of being like, oh shit, warning, 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 red alert. They're sounding the alarm. They've been sounding the alarm for a couple decades of the fact that the planet is rising back to its natural state of the one big jungle it is within pure heat. 2 suns on the planet, not even one. There was anciently 2 suns on the planet. They just pushed the second one away, and the second one re-emerged, and it's going to fully re-emerge and be in the sky permanently soon, because I saw with my own eyes December 21st, 2020, 2 suns. I haven't seen 2 suns since, but it's there, and it's going to be a time, quote-unquote time, because time is an illusion, but there's going to be a space on this planet very soon where that second sun is going to be fully in the sky, just like the first sun is. And it's just going to go back to a natural thing of, oh, it's just natural, 2 suns in the sky, you feel me? And within that being said, as the planet is rising in frequency, as it is that the Kundalini energy of the planet is rising, as it is that all these high frequencies are pouring on the planet, you hear everyone in the so-called spiritual community, all the guys and goddesses who are waking up, everyone talking about all these high frequencies pouring on the planet, how these cosmic energies are coming into the planet, you feel me? All this stuff they're talking about. Well, what do you think high vibration is? Heat. The hotter it is, the higher the vibration, you feel me? And in the cosmos, it's extremely hot. It's extremely hot in the cosmos, you feel me? And so within that being said, vibration is life. Because when something moves, it's creating heat. The faster something vibrates, the hotter it is. So basically you can say that heat is life. Movement creates heat, and moving, being moving and going and expressing yourself as a living being, moving, and is you being alive, right? And so within that being said, there is no such thing as cold. Heat was the only thing there ever was, because everything was vibrating, moving at different scales of vibration. You feel me? And so within that being said, because we are energy, and everything is energy, we are life itself, right? So heat is just a byproduct of us. Heat is energy. The more energy there is circulating around, moving, because think about it, the hotter it is, it's like the more activity, the more everything starts coming to life. It's like the hotter it is, it's really, what I'm trying to get at is, it's really the more energy there is in the environment. So the hotter it is, the more there is going on, the more everything's starting to move and come to life and and get popping, you feel me? When they freeze everything, they're locking it and killing it and killing all the energy. And so they bring it all the way down and kill everything, and then it gotta rise back up. So that's why it's like, in the beginning, it's like a slow build up. It's like not much going on in this 3D, but everything is rising, and more activity, more energy, all this shit is pouring on the planet. And especially as it is that we're waking up, we're directly rising the energy of the planet, rising the vibration of the planet as well. We're contributing to this as it is that the collective is waking up, because the more it is that we're pushing all this energy out over this internet, out into the realm to people around us, spreading these frequencies. We're raising the consciousness literally, and as souls we pump and emit heat, and the more we rise in frequency, the more heat we create. So we're walking suns ourselves, heating up the realm. You feel I? You feel me? This is a spiritual war, and on a deep level, it's a energetic war of heat versus cold. You feel me? But with that being said, global warming literally is the return of my planet to its natural state. So just call it global returning. Call it what it is. Global returning to the state this planet was before y'all artificially made it into a cold state, a 3D dead, solid, locked in state. Because for everything to even be in the solids, the 3D, you had to freeze it down to this level. You had to slow the vibration, right? You had to remove the energy and drain the energy and kill the life, right? So as it is that everything is being revealed on the planet, the more truth that's being revealed on the planet, the more souls wake up. Every single soul that wakes up adds to the collective flame that's building up and increasing the heat on the planet more and more. That Kundalini flame rising throughout the whole planet and rising each and every one of us. You feel I? You feel I? The sun itself is purging and eradicating these parasitical beings from my planet. As we speak right now, so-called Europe, right, is going through a record heat wave, let them tell it. And they're talking about thousands of people are dropping dead. Schools, businesses, stores, buildings, whole infrastructures are shutting down because it's so hot. Their nuclear power plants aren't working because they can't pull from the rivers and the streams. Their infrastructure, everything is boiling and breaking down. Meanwhile, for me, it feels like I'm just like opening up. It's like just starting to get a little warm up in here. It's like, okay, it's just warm enough for me to take my shirt off. But for y'all, this is killing y'all. It's just starting to get warm enough to take my shirt off. Like, this is the beginning. It's like, it's just starting to feel good for me. For y'all, though, this is killing y'all. This is how we know these human beings are a different species, aren't the same as us, these white people. We already know it. We already understand it. We don't need to have anything to confirm it. But I'm just saying, proof in the pudding. Like, they cannot take our sun at all. What feels good to us kills them in every form. We go out in nature, strengthens us. Uncomfortable as hell for them. They gotta rip apart nature. They see nature as some, like, foreign object that's out to hurt them that they gotta survive in. Meanwhile, I go out in nature and it's my home. I gotta survive out here around y'all in this concrete jungle with these police, aka slave patrol, trying to hunt me down in every form with y'all man-made laws that y'all done drew up on my planet when we run on universal planetary laws. None of y'all laws have any effect anymore. None of y'all laws have any power, nigga. I'll kill a cop. Like I told my human being mother, I don't move with fear because I'm a soul in the body. Y'all don't take, these beings around they don't believe, they think something, they even think it's about belief. It's not even a matter of believing, but they don't believe in when I talk and when I move on. But it's not even a thing of belief, it's literally the truth, it's literally what I'm living. It's literally reality, the reality of this planet. They choose to live in ignorance and remain in that 3D matrix energy. You feel I? Like, you feel me? And within that being said, what I do is not a matter of belief because I'm literally living it. These beings around they don't take when I'm on serious. They think it's a game. But to me, it's literally real. They don't think they're not their body. But I know I'm not my body. Like, if I know it's really real, and I'm talking about how this is my planet, and I'm not here in y'all system. I'm not a citizen of y'all countries. Y'all countries, y'all concrete jungle need to get the fuck off the planet. Y'all is in the way. This is my planet. Nature is what my planet is. Me and I's people should be out in nature, free, out in my planet, living free, sovereign, in nature, as the divine nature beings we are. So we're rising up in frequency. We're all going back out in nature. We're reclaiming our power. So the souls that are tapping and raising their frequency, we're becoming like a whole evolved species. And we're just like becoming our own individual beacons of energy and are walking in our own energy fields throughout the planet, going back in nature and retuning into the actual real reality of what this planet is, which is nature, because this concrete jungle is an illusion reality that we're all pulled within. But when we go back out in nature, we're in the real reality of the planet. We're in the actual planet, nature. I feel I. So that's where it is that we step into the actual energy of the planet and moving in what the purpose of being here is: actual life moving through our planet, commanding our planet, protecting our planet, living in harmony with our nature. You feel I? And so within that being said, as is that the vibration is raising, the hotter and hotter it is that's going to become. It's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. Winter is fully breaking down. I spoke cast into existence right now that there isn't even going to be a winter this man-made year. So-called 2026 going on to 2027, there isn't going to be a winter. It's going to stay hot. And from this moment forward, it's just going to keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter within every man-made year within their Gregorian calendar until it is that time it completely breaks down, period. It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And the hotter it is, the more it is that my species are going to be able to go out in nature, especially because one of the biggest things that got us not being able to live on our planet is the cold. The cold drove us out of nature to force us into these cities, to be in these modern day caves. These human beings need to be in these caves called houses. Us, it's just a matter of how cold they made the planet and them pulling us out of our natural essence and corrupting our genetics to where it is that we aren't really feeling nature the way we used to. But the moment we remove all that meat, remove all that dead flesh, remove all the man-made foods designed to alter your genetics, the moment it is that we remove all this technology, all this weaponry, all these spells, all these different things placed around us to keep us in a low vibrational, disconnected zombie state, the more it is that we do that, the more it is that we then retune into the real energy of nature, the real energies of life, you feel I, and we open up to then feel the real energies of what this planet is for our soul and get fed off that, you feel me? So, within that being said though, we're rising in frequency, we're taking back our planet, and the sun itself is working on our behalf to purge these parasitical beings from the planet. We don't even need to do that much. We just need to keep doing what we're doing, walking in our path, raising the frequency in our own ways, and of doing so within our own journey. We're all trailblazers. We're all initiating this rise. You feel me? We're all deeply connected to everything taking place on the planet. We are the rise happening through us. I am the rise. I am the main thing. You are I and I am you. So I am literally the main thing causing everything that's happening on this planet. Reality reflects I. So when it is that I tap into a higher dimension and I start raising my frequency and breaking from this matrix, you see this reality reflecting that to where everything's crashing out, all this shit is getting crazy, everything's getting hectic and chaotic, and the system's breaking down. I'm causing that, and it's only when I choose to eat the blue pill again that then I go back into that matrix frequency and give it my energy to even let it linger on the planet a little bit longer. But we're done with that. I was then keeping it into existence to begin with. This matrix is over. Their presence on my realm is over. This concrete jungle is over. These governments that have been oppressing my people are being removed. Their power is void. These systems are breaking down. These slave patrol, these police are op number one, and they're all either going to be scared out of putting down that badge, or they're going to be put down where they stand, because they're the enforcers of the matrix. All these elites, these shapeshifters, these reptilians, these elite human beings, these fallen extraterrestrial races, Zeus himself, before they even come, before they do anything, who is it that they're sending? Their police. And if not their police, then their military. And who is it that they're using for the most part to be the beings in that police force and military, apart from the human beings? Us, house Negroes, sellouts, raccoons, thinking they human beings, loving they slave master, being a part of this system. So they be using us against us, as it's always been. But within that being said, we're tapping in, we're freeing our souls, We're freeing the planet from this artificial, locked, dormant state it was in. Global warming is really the global returning of the natural state this planet is within one big jungle, one big forest, and lots of heat, because heat is energy. There's lots of energy on this planet. It's nothing but energy and frequency and vibration circling around the ethers of this planet. They just did so much to lock off the energy and block it off for a little bit within their little 500 years of being on this planet when they invaded in 1492 through portals in the Caucasus Mountains. The real reason these human beings are called Caucasians, you feel me? And they came with the Pleiadians, who look just like white people, but with perfect golden skin and blonde hair. And they aren't white people. They just look like white people. Because white people, human beings, were made in our image, as in our body, our design. And the Pleiadians were made in our image too, by us. But then some of them turned evil, right? I said some of us did turn evil too. You know, Zeus, the Anunnaki god who fell. But some of the Pleiadians turned evil. As above, so below. There's duality in every species ever since Zeus fell in his ego and created the split, the division of evil compared to good. Because originally it was only all good. Everything was just good. And then Zeus stepped outside of himself and was the initial evil soul. He created evil. And then because he's connected to everything in life and he's a reflection of us, he does everything to try to hide from it and try to make it to where he's not connected to source anymore. But no matter how much he tries to run away from source, it's still us that we are all connected to within collective consciousness that he's a part of. And so because he's a reflection of us that fell, he created the ego in every single one of us. He created the ego in all of us. So that's why it is that there's duality in all species. There's good Pleiadians as well, but majority of their species, some species are majority good, some species are majority bad. Pleiadians is one of them species that a good amount of them are evil, you feel me? Nowadays, they're like the pirates of the cosmos, along with the draconian reptilians, you feel me? And even the draconian reptilians, a lot of them are fallen gods parading around as the extraterrestrial race. Like, most of the draconian reptilians you see around you right now aren't even really the original beings of that extraterrestrial race anymore. They're really fallen gods that fell so much in frequency, they then became ugly as fuck, nasty as fuck, because you are a reflection of the frequency you're on. So if you're a super low vibrational, evil, nasty being that fell from source, you're gonna look like the ghoulish goblin you are. And that's what these gods and goddesses that fell took on the form of, these draconian reptilians, and as well as other beings of low vibration. That's where you get the idea of devils and ghouls and those evil, wicked-looking beings. Yeah, that comes from our brothers and sisters' souls that fell in frequency and fully embodied that low frequency and became that low frequency. So within that being said, though, right, even with these draconian reptilians and Pleiadians and all these beings, right, that came into our planet, running the system, they really have no power because they have to use us and tell us everything they want us to think about life through their schools as kids, and then through reality as everything they tell us in society and culture and just everything they program with as a soul, right? They program us with everything they program us with as a soul, because reality comes from us and they are within us. Like, reality is all being generated from our minds. The external is a reflection of my internal. I'm in my body, but at the same time, I am the whole room around me. So everything around me within my brain consciousness, because I'm in this body, but in my true form, I have no body. I am everywhere and nowhere. So the whole room around I is coming from the source of energy, all in its energetic vibrations that I am. And I am the source of energy that all energy comes from within this reality. And that's why it's called the universe, because it's you. It's you and I verse, because energy is life, and music is a very pure expression of energy. Music is just one form of energy expressing itself. You hear the energy, you're creating energy. So music is life, right? And so what is a verse? If you're a rapper or a musician, you feel me, I be writing up songs and stuff. I be working on songs, I be writing, I got a pen game, I be spitting bars and shit. And so within that being said, I understand what a verse is. I've written plenty of verses in my incarnation in this body. There's a hook and then there's a verse. A verse is when you get past the hook and then the rapper starts actually rapping. Like, you know, majority of the song where he's rapping and you go back to the hook and then he repeats the hook and then he starts rapping again. That's a verse. And this is our verse. This is our verse of life. You and I creating our combined verse, because this is all our reality. We're all co-creating this reality together. So we're all in this reality of life, the multiverse. And all the energies that we all contribute create the whole collective energy of life. So we all contribute to the energy that is the overall energy of life that we're within. And so we're all adding or taking away by either giving good energy or, polluting life by giving out bad energy. But within that being said, all energy comes from I, right? And so these beings, these low vibrational beings, have to entrap us within our own reality. So we're like slaves within our own self, rising back up into our own power to realize that everything around us is coming from us. We are the source of reality. These beings have no power over us. The only power they had over us is by getting us to believe everything they want. We're the genie, and they fill their wishes into us. They tell us what they want to manifest on the realm. We manifested their destiny. You know how in America they talk about the manifest destiny? We manifested their destiny. These human beings had a vision. Zeus had a vision. These draconian reptilians had a vision. This white man had a vision within his system, within his countries, within his culture, what he wanted to do on this planet. And he carried out that vision as much as he has, right? Mainly through us. Even when you go down to looking into how everything was really built up on this realm, and how the Moors, a group of my ancestors, Black and Latino beings, and Nakigas, that were assigned to civilize these human beings, when it is that these human beings turn on us, and these Moors were sleeping with the human beings, the Watchers in the Bible, they talk about how they created the Nephilim when they would sleep with these human being women. That was a real story. But the real story is that the Moors, some of our ancestors, that we designated to these human beings to civilize them, some of these Moors, right, started getting attracted to these human being women because we were making the human being woman more and more and more in our image. And she looked more and more and more like the black goddess. And we know how beautiful our black goddesses and Latino goddesses are. So naturally, because human beings are made in our image, and they have a drop of our blood, so they're our nieces and nephews made by our fallen brother. Cosmically, they're our cosmic family, no matter how extended and far away it may be branched off to be, they are still our extended family in some way, shape, or form. So even human beings are still gods in some way, shape, or form. Deep down, they just gotta tap into that true nature, you feel me, of what they come from. Because they're a part of our species, they just don't know it. And a lot of them fight against us, so they actually remove their connection to our species, and they basically fully damn near become animals, to be honest, because they have a drop of our blood, then they have animal genetics. So it's either y'all tuning into our consciousness and tuning into the being that gave y'all form to look different from the animals, because if y'all didn't have our form, y'all just look like straight up animals. That's why the monkey looks like how it looks. That's why the ape looks like how it looks. Then Zeus got to the Neanderthal. He went from the first stages to the monkey to the ape. These were all stages he was getting to, drafts within the final project being his white man, Zeus's greatest creation, created to prey to him and enslave his own species and destroy his own species. Human beings were made out of hate, envy, jealousy, all these low frequencies that Zeus fell outside of himself and stepped into. That's what Zeus created these human beings with the intention and mission to destroy us. But within that being said, these beings have no power over us. They had to put everything they want to manifest into this world and tell it to us. Put it into us. You feel me? But no longer. We're taking back our power. The vibration of the planet is rising at an exponential rate. The heat is amping up greatly. Global warming, it's only going to get hotter and hotter. Y'all talking about global warming, it's about to be global scorching, global burning these parasites off the planet. And what feels horrible for them feels amazing to us. That sun beyond strengthens us. It's our food source. Even though we don't eat food, it's really our energy source. Let's not use food, because food is a man-made weapon, a spell. Fruits and plants aren't food. Food is specifically Lucky Charms, Pop-Tarts, pizza rolls, all these low vibrational things made to attack you. That's what food is. livestock for cattle, and black Latinos have been turned into the biggest livestock on this planet within their matrix. So within that being said, food is an illusion. We eat pure energy. The fruits and plants are condensed sunlight, so when we eat the fruits and plants, we're eating a solid version of the energy trickled from the sun. But if it is that we raise in frequency to where it is that we can tune in directly back to the source of energy, we can just get the energy directly from the sun itself, directly from the ether itself, and we don't need to go through the middleman. We can bypass the middleman of these fruits and plants and get directly into the energy source itself. So within that being said, the vibration of the planet is raising extremely. It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. See past the illusion of thinking it's anything that you're trying to say it is. It's the real truth of what's taking place on my planet. The fact that this really is Planet Kai. The fact that we really are in Luna Kai. And the fact that the planet really is returning to the black and Latino people, the indigenous beings of this planet. Within that being said, all truth is being revealed. Everything is being put into balance, and we're stepping into our power. Peace to the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai. Keep your vibrations high. Open up your third eyes. Now we rise. One. I leave as I come. On divine energy, pure insight, soul force, etheric energy, and just standing with source. Peaceful, insightful, enlightening, divine energy. Peace.